Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming 10-71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and off we go from Soldier Field. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Powers through it, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. On play action, Fields. That one caught along the sideline. Did he stay in? Yes, he did. But hang on here. A penalty marker is on the field. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Fields. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Amir Smith-Marset now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down carry for Henry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Bears at 2-14 in what's been a tough year. And they come in the midst of a season-crushing losing streak. It's up to 9 games now.
And this is a team that's not shown much consistency during this losing streak because they've never really looked like they've been ready to play. You question their motivation. You wonder what's going on with them. And I don't have a PhD in psychology, but the body language, it's awful.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Fields. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this returnable for Rager. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They run again on 1st down, Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These 2 teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So they're looking for this series sweep here in Chicago. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action now. Cousins. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know. Well, that's one way you take away a 1st down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, forced the incompletion.
Play action. It's Fields. Going deep downfield for Ross. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. And that looked almost to be a case of, quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And look, you're down 7-0 in the first quarter. You know it's not a time to panic or feel like you've got to get those points back right away. But how about their conviction and taking that chance to throw the ball deep right there, knowing they can hit on plays like this? I'll bet that won't be the last time we see them take a deep shot in this game.
And that one covering an even 63 yards in the air. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On second down, here's the option. And he is going to lose yardage here. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion. And I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing on third down, Fields. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Cousins throwing quickly out for Jefferson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So roughing the passer penalty and an automatic first down.
And that's the mark of a bad team, partner, because that's an easily preventable penalty, but they just didn't take the proper steps to make it so.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Cousins. And it's caught. Touchdown. Adam Thielen with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings go up by 2 touchdowns. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Throwing on 2nd down, Fields. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlinesman. Matt Eberflus clearly in disagreement with that last call, and he's going to throw the challenge flag. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. To throw is Fields. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Following the interception, Cousins. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Here we go, bring the energy.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing is Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On the counter, it's Henry. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, Fields. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 35.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 23. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And some room to work. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A give left side to Cook. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kyler Gordon in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, Michael Pilardi on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw here into the hands of Harry.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 39-yard line.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Fields now to throw. And he'll get this underneath to Henry.
And he's got room.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here's Fields. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they can at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Fields on 1st down.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now it's Fields.
And that is caught. Touchdown. as the first half is winding down. And the Bears are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
On play action, Fields.
And this throw will be intercepted.
Picked off by Lewis. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how anytime you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Now, let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. 58 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Here's Cook again.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On play action, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. On the move past the 40. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 33. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. From that outside linebacker spot, gets in there. It's a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 16. 3rd and 19, no problem as they're able to convert.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. The speed of Jordan Hicks on display there as he gets the tackle for loss.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Fields. Open man is Ross, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Henry out of the pistol. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
2nd down, they go again with Henry.
That he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10.
Play action. It's Fields.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brian Asamoah working his way in to pick up the sack. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Back to throw, Fields.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He got him a big chunk of that yardage back, but even with that effort, it'll still be 3rd and long.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second-half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game, because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care.
Now Cook hit, and he lost the football.
And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. Back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly, and you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change, get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now, but if this keeps up, you're going to have 2 very angry defenses yelling at the offense to take care of the ball. Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run it again with Cook. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Off play action, Fields.
And now here is another interception.
Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the 2nd half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
From the end zone is Smith-Marset. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 30 on second down, Fields.
This one swung out to Montgomery.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Fields.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
To throw is Fields. A check down here for Henry. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. From the 17,
Fields.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
3rd and long. It's Fields.
And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Ready up.
Fourth down. Fields has to have this one.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. There he goes left side. 30, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really, you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Touchdown, Chicago! I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play. Big-time result.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think it might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
Cousins throwing quickly out for Jefferson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook
with career touchdown number 60.
And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From the end zone is Smith-Marset. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
154 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They snap it to Fields.
And that is incomplete. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Another carry now for Madison. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they will take a knee here.
Here we go.
And they take a knee. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
But without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Minnesota,
they conclude the regular season with a final record of 11 and 6.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Bears,
it's been a sinking ship all season, to be frank, as they finally draw the curtain on what will be a 2-15 year.
And you have to figure that this is a team that will look a whole lot different come training camp next July.